Alright, hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be tackling some dirty headlights and trying to restore them and make them look new. So stick around. Alright guys, the first step to cleaning your headlights is you need to wipe down the surfaces that you are going to be cleaning. So whether you have 2 or 3 headlights, yes, there are cars with 3 headlights, you want to just take a wet cloth and wipe down the surface to make sure that there's no grime or anything on it. And the next step is we're going to use some lens clarifying compound. What this does is it starts to break away on the yellow around the headlights so you can actually see it clearer and we know where we need to sand. So we're going to apply it with just your cloth that you use to rub down the headlight in the first step. And yes, it looks like sunscreen, but it's not. Don't use it on your skin. And only work with one headlight at a time. I know you might get eager just to do it fast and get both out of the way, but it's going to be really hard jumping back and forth trying to do all the steps correctly. Our next step, we're going to take a sanding pad. You can use sandpaper. I believe you would want to start out with like a 300 grit or a 600 grit and then work your way up. I have small little applicator pads, so we're going to start with this. So we start with a small grit. And we're going to use some spray lubricant so we don't scratch the headlight as much as we just remove the surface of the yellowing on the headlight. So we're going to get it nice and lubricated. And we're going to start sanding. Alright, next, once we got it nice sanded up, starting to get through that yellow layer, we're going to move to a slightly higher grit, sand with more lubricant. Step 3, grab another higher grit sandpaper or sanding block or sanding pad. Use lubricant on the headlight and continue sanding. Next step, we use our final high grit sanding block, pad, paper, whatever you have. And once again, we use spray lubricant and we go for our final sanding process. Next, we're going to rub it dry and get off all this wet lubrication and sanding with just a dry microfiber or cloth towel. Next, we're going to go back and start using the lens clarifying compound again, and we're going to buff it out until we start seeing a nice yellow free shine with the other side of the dry cloth that we just used.
Each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the organ, as heard from those positions. When played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
And you don't have to be gentle with it. You can use a lot of lens clarifying compound because you're going to want to let it sit here and haze. Alright, and the last step is we're going to sit here and we're going to wipe off the clarifying compound and see what we have as our results. So as you can see, once I block out the light, you can really see how clear that they got with just that small little work in comparison to what this was. So this is definitely worth your time and you should do it. You can pick up these supplies at your general auto parts store. I got these at AutoZone for $8, I believe. And this is well worth your money if you have some foggy headlights. Alright, now we're going to work on the other headlight to get the same results. Alright guys, remember the first step is to wipe down your headlight because you don't want anything on it. Next we're going to grab our clarifying compound. Remember, don't be gentle with it, put a lot on there. We're going to rub down the headlight. Next, we're going to go straight into our sanding with our low grit sanding block paper pad and some spray lubricant. Next, we're going to take our slightly higher grit applicator pad paper and our spray lubricant, and we're going to continue sanding. Next, you're going to take your next highest grit paper and more spray lubricant, and you're going to continue sanding. I get that this is very repetitive, but these steps are needed to get every single bit of the yellowing on your headlights. If you just skip up into the high grit sandpapers, you won't be able to have all the yellowing come off your headlights. So each step is very important. And for our last sanding, use your highest grit and more spray lubricant and continue sanding. Next, we're going to wipe all this sanding material off the headlights. And now you're going to take your lens clarifying compound, put it on your dry cloth, nice and thick, and you're going to rub it on and leave it to haze. Next, we're just going to finally wipe off the clarifying compound to reveal our freshly cleaned headlight. And there's the result of our second headlight. This is 1,000 times better than what it was. The other ones were so yellow, light could barely shine through. So now, let's get a test on how bright these things really are. That is a huge difference than what they were. You can actually see, these are just the normal running lights. And they're nice and crystal clear. Alright guys, and that's how you clean your headlights. Leave a comment below about other things you might want to see, just general maintenance on cars. I'm no expert, but I do have some experience. Also, subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all subscribers, and I'd love to talk to you all more about future content. And speaking of future content, I'm going to a large car show tomorrow in Knoxville. Cars and Coffee. There's going to be a lot of cool cars, a lot of good content. I think I'm going to do more of a cinematic and do some commentary, throw in some good music, try out some new music. So stick around and catch my next video. Peace out.